Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We're into day 2 now, live from IEM Katowice 2018. I'm joined by Snods once again.
Hello, Jack. How you doing, mate? You doing well?
Yeah, pretty good. Obviously, we had a long day of exciting games in the groups yesterday. We had some good results through and through, and we're back for day 2.
Yeah, obviously, we had the 4 best-of-1s to open the show, the 2 best-of-3s as well. And actually, you know, with those best-of-1s being thrown into the mixture, there wasn't really too many upsets or anything too unexpected.
Yeah, we saw a couple of games that could have had potential for some interesting results, but towards the end, they started to get closed down and returned back to normal. One of the key ones, obviously, if you cast your mind back, would have been that Tyloo game versus Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we had, Tyloo, as you said, Avangard, Order, some of the lesser teams there from the weaker regions, trying to see if they can get those best-of-1 upsets, because obviously, once you go into those best-of-3s, things get a lot more sticky, a lot more difficult. And yeah, I believe, Order have their best-of-3 now versus NIP to try stay in the tournament. Avangard are gone, Tyloo are gone as well, so it goes to show there's no mercy here.
Yeah, tons of teams obviously struggling to actually get it together and being knocked out yesterday. You were cut if you didn't make it through, and now we get into the more serious actions we come through today. But we do have those results from yesterday. That was SK versus Avangard. That was a 16-10. Obviously for Avangard, it seemed like it was a bit of a struggle for them. They didn't really get too many rounds on the board. The rounds they did get, Snods as well, were back off all of the pistols. We saw them take every pistol round they had in every map.
Yeah, Avangard, 6 out of 6 pistols won yesterday in their best-of-3 and their best-of-1s as well. So the 16-10 scoreline, not really reflecting actually how one-sided that was for the Brazilians. Obviously, following that one, Renegades versus Astralis, 16-13. Renegades having a very close showing that obviously Astralis putting that one through. Liquid, 16-10 versus Gambit. Tyloo, 16-14. Obviously, we covered that game. Skaduda had that one versus 3 at 14-14. Kept Cloud9 in this one, and obviously, as soon as you lose that best-of-1, Jack, you have to go through 6 best-of-3s if you want a chance of making it through groups. So it makes the road a lot more arduous, a lot more tougher. And obviously into the lower bracket, the best-of-3s. Avangard 0-2 versus Renegades. They got sent home. And Tyloo as well, 2-1 versus Gambit.
Yeah, it looked like for Avangard in that lower bracket game as well, they just took too long to wake up. And when they did actually start to play the style of CS they feel comfortable with, it was too late and Renegades had just locked it down. JKS was playing incredibly. JKM as well, just looking effective, and they were able to just work together very nicely to close it out on cash there in the second game.
And then for the upper bracket, best of 3s, SK Gaming, Astralis, obviously the incredible map on Mirage, coming down to, quote-unquote, the wire, I guess, with all those issues that happened, but Astralis still pulling it through. With the 2-0 going up against Liquid, obviously the winner of that one goes straight to the semi-finals, the top 4 position. And then following that one, the second upper bracket game we had as well, Liquid versus Cloud9, a 2-0 for Liquid. Obviously Cloud9, major champions not too long ago, and coming into these tournaments, you know, Summit, obviously Liquid winning that one, Star Series, Liquid making it to top 4. Coming into this tournament as well, it feels like Liquid are on the rise as of late. You know, the recent addition of Nafly has really, changed this team.
Yeah, I mean, Naf's obviously been playing fantastic, but for Liquid overall, it just seems like maybe this is where they're actually going to start to assert their dominance. But that was Group A. That was everything that went down there. It was definitely a spicy one. It provided for some interesting games. And I feel like there's probably some more to come out of that as well, especially for that lower bracket for Cloud9. It's kind of do or die now.
The thing for me, actually, is the SK matchup. I believe we covered that one at the end of the day. The SK versus Gambit, obviously, in terms of the Intel Grand Slam, SK right now, 2 out of 4. You know, if they win 2 more of these big ESL DreamHack tournaments, they get the lion's share of $1 million. But obviously, you know, it only goes over the span of, 10 tournaments. It resets after 10. So Cologne, and when's Cologne? July, I believe it is. So it resets around there. I think they've only got 4 tournaments left, barring this one. So if they go out early into this tournament, you know, the chance of making that Intel Grand Slam is going to diminish.
Yeah, obviously it gets less and less every time they do make these mistakes. As you can see there for SK, they are currently leading with 2.
Yeah, and I was right. It was ESL 1 Cologne for SK. And obviously, other one they won, which was the Pro League Finals, only back in December. If you remember the crazy final, SK versus FaZe, all 5 maps down to the wire as well. And obviously, NIP, FaZe, and G2 are thrown into the mixture. So you can see actually on the graphic here on your screens how, depending on the first one you won, it sets up the next 10 big tournaments. It's not as if it's, you know, everyone's on the same cycle. It's all individual based off when you get that first victory.
Yeah, which was going to be interesting. But we do obviously have the Group B bracket as well, so we can take a look at that and see how the other things developed over that side of things. Because Group A was it was pretty spicy. Let's see how Group B went down.
Yeah, obviously, fairly standard in terms of the FaZe 16-3 versus Order. Obviously on Reddit right now, the crazy 1 versus 3 Nico had with those 3-1 taps. Going into the next matchup, NIP versus North. You know, those growing pains essentially for the Swedish side there, NIP versus North, a team similar to Liquid on the rise currently. Following that one, G2 versus VP. Actually, VP going to be the first matchup we cover. And yeah, Virtus.pro, 9 T rounds on Nuke. Now people are arguing that the new Nuke is going to be extremely CT-sided. Now there's no, you know, Heaven wrap, and you know the defaults towards that side aren't as rewarding. But yeah, I mean VP having that 9-6 scoreline on the T side and still lost 16-12, rather surprising. And obviously Heroic, Fnatic, one of those teams we're going to be covering, VP versus Heroic. But yeah, Cobblestone, Fnatic, 16-9, fairly one-sided. Obviously for Heroic coming to Cobble, it feels like they're pretty hit and miss. And into the lower bracket, obviously those games didn't happen just yet. Order, NIP on the mainstream currently, and then VP Heroic, which we're about to cover.
Yeah, which should be a good game when we do kick that one off. It'll be Order going up against Ninjas over on the A stream as well. For Order, this is last real chance, obviously, coming into this. That first round matchup against FaZe, not really what you want to see for that side, as they were looking good, but then things just started to struggle.
It is true. It is true. I mean, for me, is NIP going to be losing that best of 3? The chance is so low. I still think Order go out here. I think the one for me is if VP win this one, Jack, NIP, VP, one of those two teams are going to be going out before we even see the Spodek.
Yeah, that is true. And for them, it is going to be a bit of a shame. Obviously, a very long journey for them here. They wanted to try and come in strong. And they were actually posting good results online as well. So for Order, this is their last real attempt to try and see if they have any magic left up against the Ninja Pyjamas side that need to bounce back.
Yeah, but obviously, in terms of online results for Order, they are playing, I believe it's just the Aussie equivalent of Premier. Like, the best team in there's probably going to be Tainted Minds, maybe Chefs as well, or King, well, former Kings. Now this team, sorry, now Order. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the competition, it's very scarce in that Aussie region, especially online as well. So not really the best margin of comparison. Obviously, the online games that you know NIP are playing in Pro League, for example, some of those we covered are drastically more difficult.
Yeah, that's true, and that's the skill gap that just was the difference as soon as when they actually got plugged into this environment. They couldn't adapt quickly enough, and you just saw, obviously, that first round matchup with FaZe. It's not really the one you want to get into.
I'm pretty sure Nico was like 24 frags and 6 deaths, something absolutely egregious like that. It was, yeah, I mean, as you said, you know, the skill, the caliber player is just night and day.
Yeah, just running away with it, really just playing that more aggressive style of CS because he knew he could back it up, and they were going to be able to come out on top. But let's get into our actual matchup of what we're going to be breaking down.
And now into the actual stuff that matters, VP versus Heroic. What are your initial thoughts here, Jack?
VP versus Heroic, I think really for me, obviously, this is going to be VP with nothing to lose. You've got to the point where you're in that lower bracket. You have to play that A game, Snods, because there is no room for error. If you go down here, they're going to be out, and this is not what VP want. They need to have a resurgence. You've got Miku. Show me the difference.
I think there's a lot to lose here if you are VP. You can see as well in the left hand or the top left hand of that corner, IEM Extreme Masters World Championship, the former teams that won this tournament. ESL won Katowice 2014 when it was the major, when VP won it on home soil. And that is the salient point here, Jack, on home soil. Obviously, Katowice, the biggest tournament in Poland. And now for VP. Obviously, they went out versus actually Heroic, if you remember the best of 3. And that actually was on Nuke as well, and that's something I want to touch on in just a second. But Heroic, last year, knocked VP out of the, well, chance of playing in front of their home crowd in the Spodek, in the last matchup to make it into the quarterfinals. And obviously Heroic receiving a lot of hate after that one. Rather understandable. But yeah, big question mark for me is the maps. Nuke is a big grey area for me. Obviously, we saw VP play it yesterday. 16-12 versus G2. 90 rounds they got versus the French side. And still they weren't able to muster up the win in that scenario. Heroic, known as one of the best Nuke teams in the world. There's a reason we hardly ever see it played. And it's because the respect ban is always there.
Yeah. Now, for these two sides, Snods, just between both teams as well, in terms of storyline alone, for VP, obviously, they've got the fact that they're in home soil, they're in Poland, they're going to be in a situation where, for them alone, being the big dogs of Polish Counter-Strike, they always have been. They're fan favourites. Everyone here knows their names. Everyone wants them to succeed. And this is your last attempt. You've been plugged into the best of 3. You need to try and take this victory to actually get yourself back into a manageable position and continue this on. But it's going to be a slog for them. They're not in a great position. They're looking like they have been struggling. Let's try and work out if we can see where the battlefield will actually go down as well once we get that veto coming through and we can see those bans and see how this shapes up.
Yeah, obviously, extremely understandable ban coming out from Heroic. Cash being the permaban from Heroic. Cash being a map that a VP can play. Obviously, famously, they're the ones that try to instill that 5-rifle setup on the CT side. Overpass ban coming out from VP. Again, I mean, for me, it all comes down to Nuke. I want to see if VP are going to be playing Nuke against Heroic. But then again, you know, considering that the map has now changed, is what Heroic was so good on now different in terms of the playing field being different? And a VP going to be picking Train, another map that is actually strong for Heroic. Actually, the map pools do, you know, spread fairly well across both of these teams. Obviously, Mirage, Train, Nuke, Cobblestone as well can be thrown into the mixture. We saw Cobble being played yesterday by the likes of Heroic. And now Nuke is on the table. So right now, is VP going to be flowing with that one? No, going to go for the Cobble pick. Understandable. Again, 16-9 loss versus Fnatic on that map only yesterday. Or actually, Nico laughing there. So who knows?
Very possible. Very possible. As we do get our way through with the veto. Obviously, the first two maps have been decided. Train and Cobble.
Wow,
there's the Nuke
Heroic banning Nuke. That is very interesting. That is extremely surprising. Well, I mean, Mirage, surely. Mirage, surely. Inferno isn't really a map that VP are going to want to play. Yeah, exactly. In terms of the best maps for Heroic, you are looking at the, you know, Nuke, Mirage especially, Inferno, Train and whatnot. So these map pools do spread rather well. And now coming into this one. Oh, it says Inferno twice. And it shows Inferno as well. I'm a bit worried here. Did VP ban Mirage? Oh. We'll see. Okay, I've just got word in my ear. It is actually going to be Mirage being the third map, which is good to see.
Yeah, obviously good for the overall veto there in terms of things. Actually quite competitive in terms of the maps. So Train, Cobblestone, and Mirage being all three maps that will be played out here over on the B stream if it goes the whole hog.
Yeah, these are great maps for both these teams. Obviously, Train being the pick from Heroic, understandable. Coming into Cobblestone, being picked, again, understandable for VP. They saw the loss versus Fnatic. You mean, Fnatic, what, had 30 hours of travel. You saw on their Twitters they were quite upset about that. Came into Katowice, had like 1 hour to prepare. They wanted the late flight. They came in, still managed to have that victory as well versus a hot Heroic who had, far more time to wake up, prepare, DM, have a game plan, strategize how they're going to come into that best of one. And yeah, thanks to our producer, it's going to be Mirage. So I do believe we will be seeing that third map potentially.
You think it is going to go all the way to the third map? Obviously, for both of these teams, it should be pretty fierce. Heroic have been looking pretty good in terms of form. Obviously, you've got a lot of talent on there. They can deal damage. The unknown quantity for me is going to be VP. How they're going to show up into this best of three. I feel like this is where they will try and play a little bit more counter-shot. They're going to bring energy into it because it really is their last-ditch attempt.
Well, I mean, let's look at recent form between these two teams. Obviously, for Heroic into Pro League, they had a fairly slow start. But that was obviously as soon as they had the addition of Rubino. And for Virtus.pro, I mean, no longer in Pro League, so there's no margin for there. If we're going to be using Star Series, a tournament that both of these teams did participate in, both teams had one victory. Heroic had the 2-0 versus Tyloo. VP had the 2-1, a very, very close 2-1 versus the MVP Korean side. And obviously, Virtus.pro went on to lose 2-0 versus Liquid, 16-10, 16-7, so not really too close. And then versus C9 as well, 16-3, 16-6 Jack. So no real resistance, no real performance or competitive edge being shown by the Polish side. And then to contrast that as well for Heroic, they lost 2-1 to Na'Vi after the victory versus Tyloo to go out. 2-1 versus Na'Vi, a team that actually made it to the finals. So, decent showing there from Heroic. Obviously now with the Rubino, different change in terms of their, stability, their core roster, their roles as well have been switched up. Rubino playing more of that supportive style, able to facilitate and, give more space to the star players. In terms of roles, this Heroic team functions a lot better, I believe. Obviously, having Rubino here to try and aid and, improve the performance from Yugi and, of course, Nico. When those two players are performing, Jack, Heroic is a scary side. But when we see nothing from Yugi and Nico, things go south for Heroic.
Well, we're ready for the actions, Nods. Virtus.pro will be over on that CT side. Heroic starting things off on the T side as it seems like he wants to be an aggressive play towards B, straight into the action as they dive their way through. Neo gets dinked as well, just the 35. The Molotovs are out, the site's been taken. What's going to be the response from VP?
And there you have it, 4 versus 4 as Molly will eventually get the trade frag. Onto Pasha, gets his second as well. as they have to try their best to flood through connector. No one coming in from behind, no one coming in from PopDog, so there is no flank to come in behind and aid VP in this scenario.
Oh, Snacks for the first. There's the response from Byali as well. Yugi up close and personal, trying to pistol whip him with the Glock, but he can't do enough damage. It all falls on Rubino. Elevated angle, and the higher ground pays off as well. Finds the frag on Snacks. Byali going to tap the bomb, try and force the face, just committing to watch the angle. Time ticks down, and Heroic get the kill as well.
Funny enough, Jack, actually, when we were casting the female tournament, we saw the exact same pistol from Dignitas female, I believe, or Squared, one of the two in the finalists. The idea of the pistol is you rush towards B, you have a player buy a Molotov and double flashbang. Usually, when you see that Molotov, you're expecting to be thrown, ricochet off of the heaven door, lands on default, denies the defuse. But now it seems like teams are realizing if you can deny the connector rotation, Neo was alone towards the B-bomb site, they rush down low with the flashbang, they blind Neo, they Molotov towards connector, and it denies any aid, any help to come in towards that site, and they can swarm and push up close. And Heroic claiming the pistol, but Byali with a fast trade, or actually no trade at all, as he does dink down Snappy as well down to 8 HP. 5 versus 4, and the IGL captain from Heroic, Snappy, is only on 8 HP as well.
IV control being taken. It's a 3-man setup, the triple threat on Heroic as they slowly encroach upon what the defense has to offer. Trying to get some info. The A site is completely clear, Snods. It is open for them if they can realize the welcome mat is down.
Yeah, smart play actually coming up from VP. The problem is, it's not really going to be working out in this scenario. They understood that. They got the damage, the dink onto Snappy. Also, they found the frag onto Yugi. They expected Heroic to have an instant reaction to rush down lower B and expect to pursue that B bomb site, but instead, Heroic go back to where they found defeat.
This could be a Moddy massacre. He's only going to get the first, though. Is actually traded back upon from Neo with the CZ, as he'll get a nice little shot off. Nico just waiting in position as well. He's got the UMP, so if he can try and find some frags with it, it will be good. There is an outnumbering situation, though. Virtus.pro, they have the advantage into the round. The response comes back through from Nico with the UMP. It was actually a kill on Snappy, blown out of the server by the HE, so there is going to be the 4 save on that CT side, but they're dealing damage. Miku scavenges himself an AK. At least he'll be able to clutch onto that to get through the round. Heroic as well, actually going to be forced out to go for 4 rebuys.
Yeah, you can understand the ideology behind that for VP, obviously. You find the first frag towards team main, also the dink onto Snappy. You're then going to go for that risky stack towards the B bomb site. Even though it's a 5 versus 4, Heroic have the AKs, Heroic have all the utility to work with as well. They can take the long-range duels towards outside. They still had an advantage in that scenario. You can go towards B, risk the stack, expect Heroic to instantly funnel towards B, and hope they walk into your domain, but instead VP with an unlucky stack as Heroic went straight towards the A site nevertheless. As they make their way towards the outside, the only opposition going to be Mishu, who finds the first one as Snappy, and now we're starting to see the reaction coming towards B. This is what VP expected in the last round.
Well, push comes down. Neo, he's going to be the frontline infantry, the first man to get contact, but he's got support from his brother-in-arms in Pasha, who's landing those right hooks, gets the first, trying to gain a little bit more with the P250, but isn't given the opportunity as they walk out to take the firefights. The AKs are just ripping them apart, Snods. They will go down. Heroic grab all 3 rounds off the back of the opening pistol, but this is where things need to get a little bit more serious.
Match is paused. Mishu having a technical issue, something to be wrong with the microphones apparently, so that will be a slight delay for us, but gives us time to break down what really we expect to see. Going to the first bar and on train as well, Heroic obviously 3-0 up. They have the cash to work with, so Yugi, if he wanted to, could maybe be bringing out that orb. But instead, I believe we are going to be seeing the 5 rifle buy. Obviously, if Heroic going into this one, VP went for the 4 spy into the second round. You're going to be expecting, weakened utility. Maybe a lack of Molotovs, lack of smokes or flashbangs. So there's 2 ways you can go about that one. If you anticipate the lack of Molotovs towards team main, towards PopDog, you can go for that fast rush towards the A side. Try and catch Byali as he loves to play towards Electric. He loves also to play in towards PopDog. If you can catch him trying to run in towards that position, get yourself the first frag, go in towards the A side and swarm it. Then again, if you know the utilities lack utility, you can play slow. Bleed out all the utility from the CT side, wait till they have nothing left, 50, 45 seconds left, go in towards A or B. There's no counter grenades to hold you back, you can easily go for an execution, and there's no real resistance to hold you away from that bomb site. So, for Heroic, the decisions are there. Now for VP as well, what's their buy going to be looking like?
Well, let's wait and see as we are going to continue on with the action, diving back in on round number 4.
Yeah, so it is going to be the 5 rifle setup here for Heroic. No AWP going to be coming out from Yugi. Full sets of utility here for the T side, and the smoke coming out towards Sandwich already. And for VP, no AWP as well to be used onto Pasha. Instead, 5 rifles and 1 defuse kit as well. So they have the defuse kit as a bare minimum. Pasha going to be boosted here towards Connector eventually. Have to boost towards the left side because there is that pipe you can see there that blocks it. Bomb making its way towards the B bomb site, Jack. As I said before, they expect VP to be lacking the Molotovs. And if they go for the execution towards the B bomb site, there is no lower ramp Molotov. And also no AWP as well to deny the peak coming from heaven. This could be a poor sign now for VP. All down to Nia. 1 flash, no smoke grenade as well, Jack. As Heroic are ready and waiting.
It's true, they don't have the tools of the trade that they need to try and derail this push in towards B if they do commit for it. Right now, though, Heroic know they've still got a lot of time left to work with. A minute on the clock as they just bide their time and set themselves up. It is only Neo there, but he's going to need to find a absolute ridiculous amount of naughty frags if he wants to actually slow them down. There goes the utility usage.
Here we go, Molotov coming out towards Grey Train, towards the back of default as well as they make their way down lower.
Going to try and burst their way through, but will they get successes? They actually do. Taking the firefights with the rifles, the marksmanship is shown off as they just pick their angles and pop off some heads as they find success, gain site control, push their way aggressively through, and already the save has been called for VP. They can't run the risk.
Yeah, they're going to have the 4-round max loss bonus. Obviously, Mishu can drop over an M4. Snacks can't, I believe.
Snacks is dead.
Snacks is dead, so the money dwindling even more. Just going to be Mishu. Bialy trying to save if they can. Yugi here towards the white horse as well. Spots out Mishu, but eventually will lose that duel as the bomb will eventually expire and send us into round number 5. It's going to go 4-0, Jack.
It is actually lucky as well that Miki was able to stay alive. They wanted to try and hold on to these 2 weapons.
I mean, he can drop over a gun, yeah. But the problem at this point, if you are VP, do you force into this one? Do you save into the next round? You have 2 rifles. Bialy can drop over an M4, and so can Mishu. But of course, I mean, they could have a 4 rifle buy, but someone's going to have to be taking the hit in terms of firepower, in terms of utility. I mean, Pasha could buy a UMP, or actually it's going to be Neo wielding the scout, and Neo being the B anchor as well. This isn't boding too well here for VP. But as, you know, expected and predicted here from Heroic, they know that VP went for the full force in terms of going for the CZ Kevlars into round number 2. They expected a lack of Molotov towards the B bomb site. They waited to make sure that only Neo was there. You saw they were waiting patiently for a smoke grenade to come out or something just to give them a signal that there is only 1 player towards B. But instead, they didn't need any of that one. Neo trying to fall back in towards Connector and play retake towards the B site was caught off guard. And now we see 2 players towards B here, Jack. Neo with the scout, and also going to be Pasha with the M4.
Oh, Neo. He's given a golden opportunity, though. Peeks up at the correct timing, finds the head of Modi. And will peel it back as the push starts to come through. He still only has that scout, but if you can at least tag them up, soften the blow a little bit, and share the load for the rest of the Virtus.pro side, so it's easier to find those kills, but not like that. Yugi fires back upon Bialy. There's the rotate towards A, but luckily the defense is there.
Mishu comes up from Connector, but Rubino through drop finds the frag on the Snacks. Do they expect their second player to be here, Jack? Mishu finds 1. Instantly traded out there by Yugi's AWP, though. 3 versus 2 kits for Pasha. This next frag is so pivotal here for VP.
Yeah, it depends quite heavily on Pasha as well, as he has to try and push in. He has the kit, he needs to stay alive, but the peek from Nico was too powerful. Goes for the wide face, was able to remove him from the equation. It's all on Neo, just trapped right now, quaking in his boots. As he has a scout out, he does try and scout about and see if he can find any frags towards the end, but instead it will be a save once more. Has to retreat. He's got armor, he's got a scout. No point just binning it for no reason.
Yeah, there should be an M4 somewhere to collect. Obviously, Pasha was towards the B-bomb site. So Neo will try and salvage the M4, or the AK obviously found that frag early on to Modi. This is the problem for VP, obviously. Heroic expecting weakness towards this B-bomb site. After they lost it in the first buy round, you saw, as soon as Yugi found that frag towards the lower ramp, towards Connector, instant over-rotation from VP. And that meant 3 pop dog. Heroic could go, and they found only 2 players caught in transition as they exited Connector.
We got the pause coming through as well, so VP actually going to use that now. What do we see change? Where's the adaptation coming through?
Well, let's have a think about what Heroic are doing. They're going for a contact play towards B lower. Obviously, Neo's been playing so far back, so far towards the B-bomb site. He played Connector on the first buy round. Oh, sorry, behind Grey Train on the first buy round. He got Molotoved off Grey Train, fell back towards Connector. Died, obviously, trying to fall back. On the pistol, he played Connector again, very far back. Last buy round with a scout, he played towards Heaven. He had Pasha playing towards Grey Train. You could AWP towards lower, obviously for Heroic. One of the reasons why this strat is working is because they walk towards B upper. They're not flashing it, they're not molotoving it, they're not giving any signal that they are towards B. So an AWP towards lower could work. Or just, you know, Neo playing for early information towards B lower. Jiggle peeking it, trying to spot the early information. Obviously the issue is there, you might be facing into an AWP, or go for the face towards heaven. Spots no one as of yet.
Ooh, aggressive peek from Neo. Wanted to try and paint a pretty picture with the AK, but instead he's been taken down. Absolutely executed though, Modi. The response comes through from Pasha as he will land the frag with the Deagle. Cheeky stuff to re-equalize the situation, bring us back into a 4v4, Snods, as right now there still has not been a commit from Heroic. They're playing quite far back. They're just waiting to see if there will be any early push. Snacks goes for the mid push, but Nico could be the counter. Depends if he's going to walk into the unknown. That Deagle can be deadly this close. Snacks just holds the angle. Nico needs to be ready for it. He has the AK, but will he slay? Or is he going to be one in the deck? Unfortunately, nothing going to come through for VP. Only 3 of them still staying alive now, Snods.
First time we're seeing any real alley presence as well from Heroic. As they are versus the Pistols, Mishu. Playing towards quad. Not spotting out towards alley though. So you can see Rubino, Yugi is well able to exit through alley. And a flick shot there from Rubino as well. Will deny any chance from the upset happening. 4 versus 2 now as it's just Bialy and Pasha. Leave that just to Pasha now. No Kevlar, just going to have the AK to wield, playing towards alley, behind the smoke. And this is going to go 6-0 now for Heroic. VP obviously took the timeout in the last round. What's going to change? I mean, first time we've seen Ellie, you know, Ivy, alley presence from Heroic was into that last round versus the anti-eco. Are they going to continue that in the buy rounds? I'm unsure. If you are VP, you could go for the push towards alley. Obviously the flash push, gain information that way. AWP towards B lower. Could also see if we witness aggression from Bialy towards Pop Dog. We know he likes to play close towards Electric, towards Pop as well. But right now it's all in the court of VP. Heroic are sticking to the same game plan. They're doing what they want to do. They're imposing their own style on the T side as well. And VP, playing so far back and passive, it's working. And this is the alley push that I wanted to see.
Yeah, this could be good actually. Covering each other, going to go for the counter push as they want to try and take the control towards Ivy. Frag comes through for Miku. Wanted to try and continue the madness, but he's taken down by Rubino.
Yeah, too aggressive there. Tries to go for 2. Does get shredded eventually by Rubino. Has the AWP now as well. Snacks going to have to smoke off the angle towards alley. Actually goes for the flashbang. That's Rubino walking slowly. Has the right-eyed peek, but still. Snacks is the one that lands the tag. 6-0 still in terms of the scoreline. And a 4 versus 4 and Rubino is low. What's going to be the difference now for Heroic?
Regrouping, as it appears like the gamble is going to be the strike towards the A site. As this one develops, they still have a bit of utility. You've got the smokes. You can set up and try and go for this late round take towards A if you'd like. Rubino going to go for the contact face as well. They will line up those smokes, block off the line of sight, Snods, and then go for this commit just a little bit later on.
Bialy now playing towards default. Smoke's coming over. They're going to be falling back here, playing a more defensive angle. Molotov goes out. 40 seconds left as well, so that will delay the push just momentarily. While 3 players now here towards the A side from VP. 30 seconds left for the bomb to go down for Heroic.
Miko needs to get the entry, grabs the first, but there's the trade back. Snacks come through as he punishes him to land in the tag with the AWP and blowing him to bits. Response is there from Rubino as well. It's AWP warfare right now as it's all about the scopes. Snappy had the high ground. Rubino gets the final frag. Another round for Heroic, even when VP get the early advantage.
Yeah, this is getting really out of hand now for Virtus.pro. This is the map pick, of course, from Heroic, so we're expecting to see, you know, the game plan being imposed. They're obviously anticipating this map to be in the map pool. They had to, you know, they had their evening to go over the VP demos, work out how they're going to be strategizing their T-side on train. And now, Mishu will be going for the partial buy. Obviously, they had the maximum round loss bonus, so Mishu can afford to go for the AWP no Kevlar and still buy into the next round.
Ooh, Miku with the initial frag as well. Comes in strong with the AWP. Maybe they can actually try and get Saint Cheeky pulled out of this round if they play with this aggression.
Yeah, and you can see now as well, Neo playing a lot closer towards B lower. Can spot for that early information, try and have an idea basically if Heroic are walking towards B upper. But 4 players here towards the outside side from VP. Do they go for the risky stack again towards the B bomb side? Obviously didn't work out into the second round we saw earlier. But now 2 players going to be adding to the additional defense towards B. Actually no, Pasha staying towards connector. As Heroic prime their grenades. Smoke going to be coming down towards lower potentially. Actually, that's a smoke jack that Yugi can peer over and spot towards connector. It drops towards the gap in between the train. As you see, it does go down, so Yugi can peek towards connector right now. Oh, actually, no, he failed the smoke.
Well, first frag is going to go the way of Neo. But there's a response from Yugi. He lands the AWP as he would, like a shotgun charging straight through. Rubino as well with the rifle skills being displayed. Will take out Neo. Pasha, elevated angle, easy spray for the first. Connects the headshot on Rubino, but he couldn't double it up. Was unable to get any more, but Miku might have just solved the round. It's all on Yugi. He can be incredible with the AWP, but is he going to have the upper hand into this one as he needs to try and clutch it out? 30 seconds on the clock. The bomb will go down. He's got double flash and Molotov as well, but he is being pushed. Doesn't quite realize. Now detects by Ali. Lands the flick as the ferocity is displayed. And it's just left on Miku. A battle of the AWPs as they bob and weave, attempting to find defensive angles.
He knows Mishu has the AWP. He knows that Mishu was towards connector as well. He knows that he has to cross towards the side jack. He can play passively towards oil train, and now Mishu has to make the move into his crosshair, but this could also be a save. The times tick so far down, and there's no defuse kit here for the CT side.
Yeah, that's it. Backtracking, gonna backpedal out of there, slip through connector and try and live to fight another day. Doesn't want to just throw the AWP into the wind for no reason. Another round for Heroic, this time clutched out by Yugi as well, just being able to land those shots to deny the push. 8 rounds on the board for Heroic, and they are building themselves a very juicy buffer on this T side.
It's going to be the T side as well, as you said, Jack. 8 rounds already, so as a bare minimum, the best that VP can hope for here in this scenario is an 8 to 7 scoreline. So Heroic on the T side of train have now essentially won the half, regardless of how the rest of this first half does conclude. But it will be the double AWP setup now coming out from VP. They're expecting more contact plays from Heroic towards B lower, towards the B bomb site. Pasha going to be trying exploiting that right now with the AWP towards heaven.
Pasha needs to punish him if he goes for the initial contact. They struggle to find the first picks in the prior rounds, but this time they double it up. They get 2 as they open this one up explosively.
5 versus 3. Bomb one spotted as well towards the B bomb site. That's why Pasha is still here. Neo actually has a flashbang in his hand as well, so I imagine when Pasha next shoot, he can flash towards B upper, allow for Pasha to go for the reface. So, 2 players now coming back towards the B site. Smoke is there, and Snacks again with another frag towards T main. 5 versus 2. Surely this is the first round of the board now for VP.
They get the elevated angle. Nico actually finds the frag anyhow as he will deal the damage with the AK, recover the bomb. It's still into a 2 versus 4. You're outnumbered 2 to 1. You're going to be outgunned, but the fact is they need to rotate soon. There's only 1 player on the site, and that is Neo that needs to be the main man defender.
40 seconds left then. Push coming in towards Ali here from Mishu, so they have all the information they need. They're anticipating the play towards B. You can see Snacks coming in towards the B-bomb site as Nico makes his way down lower.
Slowly, silently, trying to give himself the edge as a assassin needs. Nico waiting. So they'll just try and listen out for noise. There goes the Molotov as time ticks down as well. It needs to be a snap-second decision-making when they do go for this play, and they have to be able to execute the CTs that are close by. Neo moves up into elevated angle to give himself some more room to play with. The spray comes through, but Neo takes down Modi, so it is all on Nico here to close it out. He's struggling. Recovering the bomb's going to be awkward. There was no time. They peek him. Finally, VP get around on the board on their CT side as they pick one up. But is it too late, Snods? 10 rounds into the action, 8 on the board for Heroic. They've consistently been able to rack them up round after round. If we see a reset coming through, this would just be abysmal.
Yeah, obviously 3 players staying alive here for VP, but then again, 2 players needing to be dropped, which means Mishu's got the only real abundance of cash here, $5,000 into his bank balance. Apart from that, Snacks on $2,000, everyone else under $500 on the VP side, so if VP do lose this round and it goes 9 to 1, Jack, they're going to go into a weak 4 spy. We could see 10 to 1, then an eco. We could be looking at basically an 11 to 1 scoreline for in favor of Heroic versus VP. If it gets to that scenario in the T side as well from Heroic, that could be too far gone at that point. But here comes the push again, aggression towards outside.
All that warfare, Snods, as they charge straight in, attempting to just demolish this defense. As they do start to topple it, it's all crumbling away. Snacks is the only real force that is behind this team, and Snacks is dealing the deadly damage. Pushes his way up close and personal as well. The AWP has been critical. It's been so massive to his success. He's got the bomb within his control, but there's still 2 Ts to remain to work out their location. He spotted out Snappy, but assumed he'd be pushed from Modi. Snappy on the reface will be able to bludgeon him with the AK. Heroic, the reset comes through, the prophecy's been fulfilled.
Yeah, you need a pause now for your VP. Not only to try and work out how you're going to be distributing your economy, but also for your mental fortitude going into this one. A great mid-round call, not mid-round, sorry, a great adjustment from Snappy going into that round from Heroic. Obviously, you've just lost the round versus the double op setup. The double ops finding 3 early frags as well. That's why we saw Yugi and Nico in that 5 versus 2. What do you do to counter those ops, Jack? Bring out the utility. Wall of smokes towards the outside site. They block off all the vision for the ops from onto Pasha and Snacks. They Molotov towards Quad, back of green, towards the stop sign as well, towards default. They rush down, they flash through the sandwich smoke as well, and they get up close versus the ops. They did such a good job of bridging the distance between the ops and them and rendering those AWPs useless. And there you have it. Now the reward's going to be a double eco from VP. I believe the double eco from VP is because they know how important the ops and the utility are. They're going to be conceding an 11-1 scoreline here, Jack, unless they can have an upset with the pistols.
Well, they're going to try and go for a bit of power play with the pistols. They do show their prowess as they take IV control. Miku gets the first, nets himself a free Kalashnikov as well, as he'll scoop that weapon up from the ground and try and wield it to cause this resistance, but it isn't working out, Snoz. They're just crumbling player by player. They hit the deck. It's all on Neo. He's got a P250 to back up his bold claims, and Heroic will make quick work of him. Snappy shuts him down with a MAC-10, gets the extra cash. Not even like Heroic need it, Snoz, as they've got 10 rounds in the bank.
They're buying. $8,000 is what Mishu had. I thought it was going to be a double save, Jack, for a better buy. And the buy they've got now was a Scout for Neo, a UMP for Bialy. Bialy hasn't even got the best spawn as well, so we can't rush in towards Popdog and have that close range angle with the SMG. But they do have an AWP to work with and the diffuse kit for Pasha. One Molotov is all they have to deny an execute or a rush towards B or A site. But it seems like it may be the first option, Jack. The smoke will deter them momentarily as they wait for that to fade. Yugi with the AWP this time holding versus the Scout of Neo. In terms of firepower, it's all in favor of the Danes. Push coming in towards Team Main as well for Mishu. No one here from the T side holding for the aggression towards Team Main. So the problem is though, Jack, that information may what? Was that through the smoke?
Yeah, brutal from Bialy. Gets the first through the smoke, just off the back of the read for the confidence. Gets the first, gets the second, grabs himself an AK. He's playing gun game as he finds these frags. Snacks as well comes through. VP make the round work.
I mean, fair play there from Bialy. He must have saw the head. They went for the boost. What you can do is when Popdog is smoked, you can boost and spot towards blue train, spot towards the back of green train as well. Obviously, we know that VP are going for those AWP setups. You're going to be expecting Snacks or Pasha to be AWPing towards green train and potentially. He must have spotted the head from one of the players, but then surely you aim for the head of the player you see, not just spamming through the smoke. It was quite a strange and bizarre situation there, but obviously, fair play to VP. They make that one work. 10-2 now as they still are in the 8-round deficit here. 3 players going early towards the B-bomb site as 4 make their way towards Ali from Heroic, as this is going to be Misha on his lonesome walking into his grave.
Miku, he's been trying this. He's actually been making it work as well. I like this. Finally, he gets the first frag, backs off, doesn't try and go for an overcommit. Smoke down, plays a more defensive angle.
Yeah, definitely learning from his lesson earlier where he basically got the first kill and instantly gave away the advantage he obtained. Bialy here as well to aid Mishu in that scenario. The creep coming in towards Whitehall's as well. Pasha, Molotov goes out, smoke as well. Can he see over the smoke? I'm not quite... Ooh, actually no. Not too sure, but he can't spot him just yet. So do you still see the 5 versus 4? 2 AWPs into commission here from Virtus.pro. Snacks towards default. Pasha towards B's. He makes his way back in towards the B side default. Yugi creeping out through his layer of teammate, but Bialy spots him.
Bialy up top and really going huge in terms of damage as well. This has been big for Bialy, starting to go to the absolute beastie plays as he finds that free K. Much needed into the round for VP, the resurgence. Maybe this is where they start to get their confidence back and get their heads together, as it's just Modi left. And he shouldn't be able to achieve too much, just creeping around. When he peeks out, he will be detected first. Does find the flick with the AK back on Miku, but he's got 30 seconds to stay alive. And they can try and go a little bit aggressive if they want. Instead, playing it smart. VP, they don't want to run the risk of losing those weapons. Their economy is still in a fragile status, so they need to back off.
Yeah, same argument though right now for Heroic. Obviously, they had the, 10-1 advantage early on into this matchup, but some of these rounds have been close, Jack. 1 versus 1 from Yugi, if you remember. Other rounds that came down to 2 versus 2s. So the money hasn't been in a scenario where it's been established, where they have, you know, $6,000, $8,000 per player. Instead, you can see Rubino only having $2,000, so it is crucial that Modi saves. If he saves, the AK can now drop over the AK to Rubino. And no one having above $5,400 as well, so there is going to be no AWP potentially for Yugi. And yeah, it's going to have the AK instead to work with. And Virtus.pro going to be calling another timeout. They cannot afford to go 12-2 down because it puts so much pressure on to themselves.
This is the heroic pause, mate.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Did it say that? The new HUD's quite confusing because
so it's based off color.
No, it's always orange, mate.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, if the CT side team pauses, it's blue.
I don't know if you're messing with me.
That's the truth.
I'll put 50 quid on this.
That's how it works.
I'm pretty sure.
Wait,
I'm pretty sure this is a
Sponge explained it to us both. That's how it works.
I'll put 50 quid on it.
All right, fine. I'll have a free 50 quid.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
I'm pretty sure this is VP's pause. Anyway.
It's heroic's pause, but okay.
Anyway. Nevertheless, whoever pause it is, VP being 10-3 down, 7-round deficit here on the CT side, Jack. There's already so much weight put on the pistol into the second half. I mean, Heroic now, even if it goes 10-5, if they win the second half pistol, they could be looking at a 13-3 scoreline. Map 1 is heavily in favor of the Danes here so far. As it seems like they're going to be lining up their smokes again. Once more, Snappy having the read where he sees 2 AWPs. How do you counter that? Brings out the utility to play. As Heroic about to be lining up their smokes in the eventual execution towards the A side.
They do have utility to play with, though, for Heroic, so if they want to try and slow it down, they can go for a standardized take. Obviously, from the positions they're in as well, it does appear that might be how this round's going to shape up.
Pop Dog and T-Main is going to be the position of assault from Heroic. Mishu playing close as well towards Electric is actually in a very good position here. Bialy takes first contact. Are they going to be expecting the second player to be towards Electric? Most likely not. And also they're in front of the grenade shack. They have the rifles in 4 positions. This is a very good setup here from VP. They shouldn't be losing this one.
Well, there goes the smokes as the pins are released and the site will be covered. Oh, straight through Pop as well. Modi with the first, but Miku with the responses is able to snap the neck back. But Snappy will deal some damage as well. Snack's an elevated angle. He's been massive with the AWP. He's been able to deal so much damage as he finds the critical frag on Nico. The bomb is down in such an awkward position, but Rubino, he's had enough. He wants to go rampant into the round as he starts to ravage them and rip them apart, but it's only going to be 1 frag. Virtus.pro will be able to keep it together as they close it out with Pasha and Snack staying alive and VP getting themselves 4 rounds on the board.
Yeah, better setup there from VP. Obviously, we know Bialy likes to play close in towards Pop Dog. One of the first rounds they won for VP was the crazy, audacious double spray through the smoke from the UMP onto Bialy. Misha as well to back him up. Actually, a very good setup to have. They play passive towards Ali. Heroic have only gone Ali, what, 1 or 2 buy rounds, if that. Heroic also know that Mishu plays extremely aggressive towards Ali. So instead, they're expecting no one to be playing close. They're expecting the double op setup to be far back. They're expecting the ops to be rendered useless from the utility, but instead, it's going to be the B side this time round.
Dive and dash as he tries to get back, lobs the Molotov down, but he will actually be able to find some success with it as well. Sends Modi off to the Burns ward as the first start frags go the way of VP. The site control has been taken. Rubino can plant the bomb and assert their dominance. Nice Molly as well to counter him. Doesn't actually tag up Rubino. He's only on 1 HP. Somehow staying alive there with the luck of the draw, but the push comes through by Ali. He wants to try and end that. They're not going to be as successful when the push comes through, as he just takes them both down in seconds. It's all on Yugi as well. Deagle out, hoping for the best, as he is going to go for the flashbang peek, but he needs to find those frags and force them off. The bomb goes for the peek. Partial protect his teammate. VP get themselves 5 rounds at the end of the half there. Heroic leading the charge with 10.
Well, a lot of pressure now on the shoulders of the VP players. Only 5 rounds accumulated on the CT side defense. This second half pistol has a lot of weight on it. Let's find out how that one goes after this short break.
Welcome back, everyone. If you are just joining us, Heroic are currently leading the charge with 10 rounds. They had a very aggressive T side. It was looking good as they now switch over to their CT half, and VP take up the mantle on the T side.
Mantle indeed. Snacks with a poor start to this one. Goes for the Deagle, tries to go for those audacious duels, and loses out the first player already. Rubino spots the bomb and 3 players towards Ali. Still overfacing potentially as he gets dinked up, and now going to be diminishing the defense towards Ali. As Virtus.pro make their mark as they walk slowly but surely up towards Ali. As here comes the push.
Oh, out Ivy, but the damage is done as Yugi will find the first frag with the USP. Rubino as well comes back through, so no more deadly damage coming out from by Ali. His teammates are also going to be hitting the deck. It's just Neo remaining. This looks like it should be a quick pistol round, and this Neo has something to say about it as he gets 2 naughty frags, nets them with his Glock. But that's all he's going to get. The round will go the way of Heroic as Mod and Rubino stay alive. And they get themselves 11 on the board. And this bodes well as well. That CT side economy, it's going to be put into a good position. It will be nurtured early from the pistol rounds, Nods. This could really, really start to be the end for VP here in the first map.
Yeah, I mean, if there is any consolation into this scenario for VP, it is the fact that this is the map pick from Heroic. Obviously, the next map being Cobblestone, the map that you've picked, you've been expecting to come into this veto. So maybe we see more of a game plan, a setup, a strategy from VP onto Cobble. But yeah, I mean, no bomb plan as well, Jax. They will be going for the force buy into this round, and it's a 5-player force as well. So going into round number 19, when it is the first buy round of the second half, if Virtus.pro are down 13-5, they're going to have no AWP for Snacks or Pasha. You know, a lack of utility as well. If they wanted to go for those long defaults or go for those heavy executions as well, they're going to be, you know, running out of opportunity into this matchup shortly.
He was trying to muster up something a bit noisy with the Deagle, but he wasn't actually able to find the frag. Yugi will take him down. Snacks actually does return the favor, though, as the CZ is crisp as ever. Finds the headshot towards Modi as well. Roams his way into the site, grabs an M4, proving that he wants to try and cause some more ruckus into the round. And it's only Nico remaining. A 1v3 with a UMP. It's not going to be the easiest task he's found himself in. He's got 2 flashbangs to make his life a tad bit easier. But VP, they've scavenged weapons. All 3 of them are now armed. Their arsenal looking a bit healthier. You've got site control. They can actually go into good post-plant positions as well, Snods. This might just have to be the save for Heroic.
Yeah, I mean, for Nico, has the defuse kit in the scenario, but a UMP in the 1 versus 3 coming in from team main as well. No real chance into that one. Going to be saving. It will go 11-6 though, so VP coming back into this. Snacks with a crucial 2K with that CZ, opening up the A-bomb site and basically giving VP a chance back into this round. Neo won't be able to save his weapon, but still, at this point, VP care more about the rounds than they do the economy.
Yeah. And it's going to be what their minds are focused on. Nico is actually going to get an upgrade, though, as he grabs a Deagle and a Famous to scavenge and actually get away with. He's been converged on both sides. Going to be trapped in a rock in a hard place. This is going to be very awkward for him, especially when Pasha does that. Lands the headshot with a Famous, and they grab that round. So there is a response from VP. Obviously, if Heroic did actually link those rounds together off the back of the pistol, that's when things would have been full of doubt for VP. But at least the response is there. Heroic now forced into a bit of a force buy in terms of the Deagles. So they go for the deco.
Yeah, no one investing into Kevlar as well, which is something that I do like to see, especially on a map like Train as well for the CT side. You need those Molotovs. Also means Yugi can bring out the AWP into the first buy round. Nico as well, 1.3k, so we could be seeing 2 AWPs into that first buy round here for the CT side into this second half. 5 versus 4. VP lose their first player towards team main. Refrag trying to come out from Mishu as he comes in towards the blue train position. Spots out 1 player, and now into the 4 versus 4.
Yeah, just want to demolish him with these Deagles, but the M4 of Miku is the thing that's causing all of the issues. Just being able to wander into the site, find headshots, second after second. So it just comes down to Snappy and Nico. This dynamic duo on the CT side needs to lock it down. The bomb has just been recovered by Neo, so at least they have a little bit more time to play with before things get serious. There's no kit, but obviously they don't have armor. If they just want to try and go for something with the Deagles, potentially force some weapons out their hands, they can risk it. But it could just be the save, and at least try and scavenge a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, they have, Deagles here, no Kevlars, not as if they have to save the Kevlar into the next round. Just playing for the exit frags here, maybe try and find an AK if someone exits through the back lines or backtracks. Get the exit frag, try and get the AK. Obviously, if you find yourself an AK, it saves you $3,100 worth of investment. You can put that money elsewhere into utility, into defuse kits, even a secondary AWP if they wanted to drop it over so that the AWPers can have more utility as well. really makes your life just easier all around. 11-7 now. VP coming back into this one, only going to be 4 rounds behind the Danes. We saw as well versus G2 on Nuke the reason why they are in the lower bracket best of 3s already. They had the 9-6 scoreline on Nuke as well, a map which is in the current new meta CT-sided heavily. So does this mean VP are stronger on their T sides? Does this mean that when Cuban's there, giving the reads, watching the opposition's demos, making these strategies to counter what Heroic bring to the party, it's on their CT side that they're expecting to have the counter strats, expecting to exploit the weaknesses from maybe if they spot cracks and crevices in the CT side defense from the Danish side. As Pasha ups the ante, coming fast out towards team main, so this should be the 11-8 here for VP.
As they get too close and personal, that's where those pistols can obviously cause upsets in close quarter combat. Right now, though, the rifles do find success from range. One by one, they start to crumble away. HE going to be bowled down as well, but he won't find himself. He's just, yeah, as the frags do come through towards the end of the round. Nico, the only one still left alive. Flashbang goes out. He falls to Miku. And the round goes the way of VP as they just want to try and get through these quickly and make mincemeat out of them. But here's the rebuy. This is where things get serious. You had enough economy for the AWP buy on Yugi as well. And CT side train with Yugi on the AWP, it's always a scary prospect.
Yeah, I mean, very good at AWPing towards green train, very good at finding the first frag towards team main, juggling up towards team main, and of course, Ali, very good towards that position. So let's see what the game plan is going to be from VP. AWP onto Pasha. Going towards Ali. So it seems like just a standard default coming out from VP. They have the 2 players going towards white halls. You flash white halls towards the lower ramp. You molly towards heaven. You then gain control towards B upper. You force the CT side anchor out that B bomb so to fall back. You come in towards Pop Dog. You take Pop Dog control. You have your 2 players Ali take Ali control. And then suddenly you basically sandwich the site from Pop, Ali and team main. But also helps a lot more if your team main player wide faces. Gets the first frag. What a fast trade there from Yuki, but Snacks has done enough damage. Now it gets awkward for Heroic. Do they spread their defense thin? 2 towards A, 2 towards B. As right now, the chance to dwindle.
Well, this is the catalyst, but Rubino needs to be the power player and the difference maker, but instead he goes down. The response is there from Bayali. His reckless play won't come through. Yugi, though, up close and personal. The no-scope as well. Just finding critical frags second after second with the AWP as he denies the push. Flashbang goes out. What? Yugi! The little animal himself. How's he gotten away with that?
I don't know, Jack, but the 4K so far into this round, he found that first frag onto Snacks when he found the trade frag. And a crazy performance from this young star here. 11-8. 3 rounds were separating these 2 teams, but it all comes down to the legend himself, Neo. 1 versus 3 now. 30 seconds left to work with. Only an HE grenade as well in terms of utility. The bomb still towards the back lines. Obviously petrified of Yugi's AWP, and understandable if he saw what we just saw. As it's only going to be 1 player towards the A site here. Snappy alone towards quad. If he finds the frag, the A site is open, and into the 2 versus 1 there is potential.
Neo, he's behind him. Still be a power player into the round at the very least. Try and get that bomb plant down, but the angle is easy. It's just going to be a peek from Snappy. A bit of a struggle, but eventually composes himself and finds the kill. But Yugi's the difference maker there. Incredible from him. Able to find those shots, not 1, but 2 through the smoke as he just flicks about and takes them all down.
Wow, okay. Round number 21 then, Jack. This game's just got heated up. 12-8, 4-round advantage here for the CT side of Heroic. AWP, of course, going to be in the inventory of Yugi. 4 rifles as well to back it up, so now their economy can start to get established if they can chain these rounds together. And for VP, this might be their last full buy coming before they're put onto a weak force buy or even, God forbid, an eco. And at that point, Jack, we could be seeing a monstrous lead for Heroic.
Modi straight in as well. Wants to bring the ruckus as he finds the first frag. Gets the headshot on Miku, but his shenanigans are slowed down. Pasha returns the favor as he finds the shot with the AWP. Aggressive control towards Ivy as well from Heroic. They're not messing about.
Yeah, that tag was so strong as well into the second player from Modi. Nearly connected the spray transfer there. Snacks is only onto 11 HP. They're going to be leaving Nico alone towards the B-bomb site, keeping 2 entrenched towards Ali. Bomb. Towards team main, it seems. Which is a good sign here for Heroic. Snacks makes his way out through team main, but he's such low HP. 1 shot from this M4 will take him down.
Just roaming around as he quirkily bounces about, showing off those acrobatic skills as he gets himself into a heightened angle. The bird's eye view doesn't really pay too much dividends though, as he will miss the initial flick. 45 seconds left on the clock as here comes the push. The brutal effort from VP needs to be ready. Yuki fires through, takes down Sax. There's Snappy as well with the spray on Neo, so he's down and out. It's all on by Ali and Pasha. Rubino's in the rear, finds the headshot on Pasha, ready for the final frag. Bayali will cover it, Rubino comes out, and the reckless play pays off. Heroic, 13 rounds picked up, so close to closing down this first map on Trains, Nods.
Yeah, great play there from Modi as well. Even though he only went 1 for 1, he landed the tag onto Snacks as well, down to 11 HP, spots the bomb towards Team Main. That's one of the key reasons why we saw 3 players still towards the A site. They could leave Nico alone towards B. They had the push towards Ivy as well from Rabina, so they had such good information as to where Virtus.pro were lurking. And obviously into that scenario, they try to smoke off towards Sandwich and come in towards the A site, but Nico, words are hard today, Jack. Yugi Zorpos is too much to handle. Now coming into this one, aggression again here from Modi, this time towards Popdog, no longer towards Team Main. And a good read as well from Snappy again for another time, as it's going to be 2 players towards B.
Oh, this could be a Popdog party as well for Modi. If he actually tries to go for this monumental play and gets behind them, Snods, as they slowly and steadily exit together, staying grouped up and staying quiet.
Look at the buy from VP, 2 rifles is all they have to work with, 1 AK. 2 P250s, a C set as well. They have decent utility, so they can go for the execution towards the B bomb. So flashbangs, they have a Molotov as well to work with. Oh no, but look at the flank now, Jack. This is horrendous for VP.
Modi, he's the catalyst and the difference maker, pushes his way through, but Nico's already done the damage that was necessary. They both go 2-2 apiece. Pasha goes down after 1 measly frag on Nico. And Heroic grab themselves round number 14. They just look incredible right now. Smart reads being able to counter it. They're just playing effective, and everyone is popping off. They're firing from all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, look at the money as well. Do you force this round, or do you concede 15 and try and win 7 in a row on your T side? Come back and try and basically go 8 to 15 and bring it back into OT, try claim the OT victory. I just don't see it happening here for VP. Heroic have had such good reads. T side, CT side, you can see obviously Peacemaker being the coach. We know he puts a lot of work ethic and puts a lot of homework into these matchups and into these teams. And right now it's showing the game plan from Heroic has been so stellar so far. It feels like everything has gone their way.
This is smart as well. What you want to do here from Rubino, go for the early contact play. As soon as you realize they're outside, smoke goes down. Just try and force as much time off that clock as possible. They've got a lot of utility to play with. Those smokes are just going to be in rotation to consistently whittle it down to the fact that when VP are forced into the play, it really comes down to the crunch. But here comes the burst. Yuki as well with the fadeaway shot on Neo, as he'll rip his noggin clean off. He'll be able to go up to a heightened angle as well. So VP already backing off and having to regroup up towards Ivy. If they do push through, they need to take down Rubino. It's not going to be an easy fight for them.
Snappy onto Snacks as well. It seems like we'll be seeing a match point here for Heroic. 5 versus 3, no Kevlar, no Deagle. Oh, actually 1 Deagle. Bayali going to have the sole Deagle into this round, so maybe he can go for the contact plays and lead the charge. And if he dies, they can swap the Deagle back and forth, but instead, they all lose their lives. 7 match points now for Heroic to work with. Is there going to be a pause coming in here for VP? Or are they going to plug themselves straight back into the Matrix? Mishu has enough for an AWP here, Jack. Has 5.6k, so does he have a good spawn? No, he doesn't. Doesn't have that spawn close towards teammate. Can't watch the cross towards Popdog. We know Modi likes to play close as well, obviously towards Electric, towards Sandwich, towards Popdog as well. And we'll go for the AK utility investment. They have good grenades here for the T side. As we see, 1 player going towards B from Heroic. Actually make that 2 now. Snappy makes his move here. Modi again with the aggression, this time towards Popdog. 3 players towards Ali, but look at the setup here from Heroic.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. Yugi doesn't need to be the catalyst. Instead, it'll be Rubino that runs rampant as he just finds 3 frags. Frag after frag. Rubino wrecks him, rips him a new one, hits him with a Rhino. Neo as well, though. Strikes back, is able to get the headshot on Modi. But even then, it's going to be so hard. You're outnumbered 2 to 1. You're in an awful position. They have to see if they can grab that bomb as they roam around now. They are going to get close towards Ivy. Snack's clearing it as well, but he's making noise. Luckily, no one's in close proximity to actually detect him. They're going to have about a minute left on the clock when they do get themselves into a position to even go for a true play. And Neo's making noise towards A. The angle is being watched, though. Rubino's the eye in the sky, just waiting for the opportunity.
Bomb picked up here for VP towards Ali. Neo has to go huge into this one. If VP want a chance of continuing this matchup here on trade, Neo gets a second for himself this round. Spots the player towards Heaven as well. So they know exactly where Rubino is. And Yugi as well. Low HP, but has the AWP at that long-range position. Can spot towards the right side of Electric here, all the way from backlines. Nico comes in towards default, but it's all a ruse, Jack. Neo has sold them the fake. B bomb site is where it's going to end here for VP. 1 versus 3. If there's anyone I want in this scenario from VP, it's going to be Snacks.
But is he going to be the superstar that he needs to be now? As he goes aggressive, plays the close angle, he's got the AK and he knows what he's capable of dealing with this weapon. As he wants to try and force him to hit the deck, but he can't do it. Rubino takes him down, nets them a first-class train all the way to Cobblestone as they will grab the victory there. 16-8, Virtus.pro couldn't quite get it together, weren't able to find success, and Heroic find the victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's so rare you see a 16-8 when you consider the fact that VP started on the CT side, VP won the force buy on the T side as well after Heroic won both pistols. So you're thinking, okay, you've won the force buy, so you've broken the CT side economy. You've then started on the CT side, the favored side on train as well. You know, we're expecting a 16-12 here, a 16-13, a far more competitive matchup. But instead, it seems like we'll be witnessing deja vu potentially. As obviously only last year, Heroic were the team that sent VP packing.
Yeah, and once again, seem like they want to do it over and over again. They find success in the first map. It's a good place to start, as obviously you take success on your map win. You move on now. Cobblestone being Virtus.pro's map pick, there needs to be changes. It didn't look like it was quite there for VP until it was too late.
I feel like Heroic actually anticipated the Cobblestone pick to come out. The reason being is obviously they had the loss yesterday versus Fnatic 16-9, and the nuke ban came out from Heroic, sorry, which is one of the really surprising things for me. It felt like, why would you ban that map which is so strong for yourselves? Maybe they saw something that was very good from VP, but then again, does the fact that Peacemaker, maybe Snappy as well, anticipate this Cobblestone pick coming out? Did they go over, you know, the Cobblestone demos from VP? Did they go over what was wrong versus Fnatic? Had they basically fixed the leaks, plugged the holes, and try to fix themselves on that map? Because it seems like they're ready for that one. And especially on train as well, you could see they had the set game plan. They were so good at countering the double up setup there from Snacks and Pasha, going for the executions to counter that setup. Before that, they went for the B lower rushes. Obviously, they knew that VEP liked to play that solo anchored Neo alone, far back. He didn't have early information towards the B site, and they were just so susceptible to everything Heroic were throwing at them.
Yeah, it's true. They just got read like a book and taken down. VP will not be able to pick up a win there on train. There is more to come, though. It's a best of 3 to decide which one of these teams is going to be sent packing. Will the Polish powerhouse be able to find resurgence? Find out in our second map, Cobblestone, after the break.
Intel Extreme Masters.